In this week's episode, we visit our rewilding project to see how the pigs and the piglets are contributing to nature restoration. Later, I meet up with estate manager Claire, and we're amazed to see how much one of our fields has changed since it was last planted with barley. And then it's time to reflect on the extraordinary calm and beauty of Mapperton. Apparently Nestor's ready. He's behind the camera today.
Hello everyone.
And I don't completely trust him. Are you sure you've pressed the right button?
Well, I hope so.
Okay, hopefully this is recording, because we are up at Coltly because we heard that in one of the many violent storms that we seem to have been having recently, the roof of the Coltly barn has pretty much completely collapsed. It's not that bad though, because this barn has been collapsing for the past 20 years. It's been a slow death. We do have plans to rebuild and restore the whole thing. And in fact, when we do that, we're going to have to rebuild it from the ground up, because not only has the wind taken off the roof, but there is subsidence. All of these buildings here are built on green sand. And green sand, as the name implies, is rather slippery and it is sliding down the hill. My goodness, though, it's looking magnificent, the landscape at the moment. We are in the height of summer. It's supposed to be hot and sunny, but it isn't at all. It's misty. It's a very atmospheric evening. You can see the cloud along the hills in the distance. But most importantly, there are blackberries. Look at them. They're absolutely everywhere. And they are quite delicious. I know what we'll be having for pudding this evening. Some blackberry and apple. Right, let's go and have a look at the other side of this barn. Because of the storm, we've had to put a notice up saying keep out, because the whole thing could collapse at any moment. Hopefully not this moment, because we're going to go and have a look to see what the structure is looking like on the inside. Nestor, have you got your hard hat? My goodness, look at it. It's all so completely overgrown. And, yes, these are quite fun, aren't they, Nestor? Let me just give you a little pat on the... These are burrs which get stuck in your hair. Look, we've got another sign telling us really not to go any further than this.
Yeah, you should probably listen to your own signs.
I probably should. Wow, the whole thing is really falling to pieces. I think if I just stay here, I won't be breaking any health and safety rules. But what I can see is that virtually all the timbers have come down. There's a huge tank in there for some reason. Oh, owl!
Oh, barn owl.
Huge barn owl.
There, just about got it.
You did?
Yeah.
It's just gone into the tree.
Oh, you can see why they call it the barn owl.
You can. Ah, that was spectacular. The barn owl came. And there's a rather fine ladder here. I don't know who's been going up a ladder.
Yeah, do you want to go up it?
Not particularly. But the barn owl, I think, is still in the tree now. I'm sorry that we disturbed it. Anyway, yes, not much to say about Coltly Barn, except that it's on its way down, but hopefully there are brighter days ahead.
As many of you know from watching our YouTube channel, I am in the midst of researching Luke's great-grandmother, Alberta Sturgis, an American heiress who came over during the Gilded Age to marry into the Montague family, and the British aristocracy, and she eventually became the 9th Countess of Sandwich. During her 46-year marriage between 1905 and 1951, she traveled back and forth between England and America in one of those grand cruise liners, like the Queen Mary. And I always imagine her wearing a dress like this, which by the way is from the 1920s, on the ship and ready for dinner. So I'm thrilled to announce that this week's video is sponsored by June's Journey, a super fun and free hidden hidden object mystery game, taking you back to the glamour of 1927. It's perfect for me. And it starts with June Parker on one of those cruise liners heading across the pond to New York to solve a mystery and uncover her family's many, many secrets. Whenever I want to switch off from the 21st century and go back in time to my favorite era, the 1920s, I'm here with June, helping her solve the mystery. So do click the link down below in the description to download June's journey for free, and maybe put on a frock like this as well to really immerse yourself in a bygone era. Also, there's a relaxing hammock decoration worth $27, and it's available free as well once you finish the tutorial, but only for a limited time. And now, back to June, the 1920s, and a little bit of me time.
Nice.
Right, now we've checked up on the building, we can do what we really came here to do, which is to check up on the pigs. And I saved them some blackberries, because I just have a feeling that pigs, and possibly piglets a bit young, will enjoy a few Mapperton blackberries. What do you think, Esther?
Yeah, I reckon these pigs will eat just about anything, to be honest.
Pigs are notorious.
They're pretty greedy.
They're eating most things. There's a technical term for that, isn't there, Esther? It's called,
opportunistic.
got the first letter right. Omnivore.
Oh, omnivore. Well, I mean, yeah.
Here we are in the centre of Mapperton Wildlands up at Coltly. And if you're watching this film and you haven't subscribed to our channel, now is a really good moment to do that. And press the bell button, because that does what, Nesta?
It lets you know when the next video is uploaded.
It does, the notifications. And there's one more thing. If you would like to become a patron and help support this hugely important part of England's heritage, including our rewilding and nature restoration project, there's lots and lots of benefits of joining. There's a fabulous community of patrons, and you get lots of behind the scenes content. Please do consider going to patreon.com/Mapperton Live. Right, enough of that. We're off to see the pigs. And I brought them these little blackberries, but on the way...
Yeah, are we going to be able to get to the pigs?
We've noticed that the cattle are here, and they're kind of slightly eyeing us up.
Albie is making his way over here.
So we think Albie the bull is on his way, and the question is, can we get to that gate before Albie comes? Oh, we've got some barking.
Reinforcements coming.
Right, Lester.
From the side.
Oh dear, there's a pincer movement of cows that are going to cut us off if we're not quick. I think it's because they've smelt these blackberries, Esther. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
I think we're going to make it because they've stopped, but there are basically two herds at the moment. Half the herd seems to be here and the other half is down there, and it looks like they're going to congregate, but they're actually super friendly. So let's go and say hello. Just notice that one of the newborn calves is just over here. I don't know whether we're going to be able to get close enough to have a look.
Yeah, these guys appear to be protecting it. Yeah, he is coming over. I think this is our time to abort the escape.
Now, Esther, looking at this gate,
yeah, that's probably a sort of sign.
This is a sign of the strength of these animals. Because at one stage, one of them decided they didn't much like the gate. So, hey, let's just get the gate out the way. Okay, come on through to safety.
Yeah, here's the gate.
So we're in one of the fields. This is a field that has what's called species-rich grassland, which means that there are lots of different species of vegetation in the field. Even before the rewilding project started, there were orchids, there were rushes in this marshy area. There's all sorts of lovely things here. But we've just spotted a fallow deer up the top, And we're here today because Ben has asked us to check on the piglets. We believe the piglets are over this way. There should be 3 of them, and we've got to make sure that they're in good health. Nesta, have you seen the piglets?
I've not seen the piglets. It's been our first time.
So let's go find them.
We've got a bit of a problem of finding the pigs.
Well, you say that, Nesta, but I'm a champion pig finder, and I have spotted something just there.
Oh, I see it.
Do you see it? Also, we can see how the pigs, for the first time, are actually starting to do what they were brought here to do, which is to rootle, to churn up the grass. This is all rootling. They've lifted up the sward, they've taken the grass off, and we've now got these areas of bare soil. And the bare soil is now giving an opportunity for other plants to come through.
And it's also good for the insects as well.
It's great for the insects because this bare soil, when the sun comes out, which is almost never in England at the moment, it will create a much hotter microclimate, which is loved by invertebrates. Look at this. We were, for a while, slightly worried that we had rather lazy pigs who weren't going to rootle. And also we were worried that they were going to rootle in the wrong places and take out some of the valuable plant species that we have here, but they've chosen a nice bit of rather boring grassland. Oh! Now, coming towards us is...
Oh, we've got some live rootling.
This
is what they do. They use their noses, which are quite tough, to pull up the ground, and they're searching for roots or maybe even slugs.
But why go searching for roots and slugs when you've been brought blackberries? And I just have a feeling that blackberries are going to go down really well as a treat. Oh, oh yes. I was absolutely right. They've all been munched, and he wants more.
Yeah, no, they didn't last long.
Or rather, she wants more. Here we go. A few more. Oh yes. There we go. Very gently taken off my hand. No, don't worry about that.
No, I don't have any blackberries.
Nesta doesn't have any blackberries.
No.
This is the aunt, and the mother is somewhere over here, we believe, looking after her young. So we're going to just have to go and find her, and I bet she's hidden somewhere quite safe. Nesta has found the piglets.
I have.
Ah, look.
Yeah.
There is Mum. And there is Mum. I think she's just being friendly and coming to say hello. Unfortunately, we haven't got any blackberries left, which is a great sadness.
I'm sure the piglets would have liked them.
They would have liked them. But she's very pleased to see you. She's very pleased to see you. And the piglets are very pleased to see you as well. Hello, Mum. Hello. Look, you can see sometimes when they go to try to get some milk and she's not interested, she sort of shakes them off.
Yeah.
Look at this. And they are large. Look at that. Within just a few short weeks, these pigs are almost as big, well, they're bigger than a Jack Russell. They're not small anymore. They're not delicate little things. And all they're desperate to do is get some milk. Look at that. Well, all the pigs are enjoying a last stroke from Nesta and a good feed. Nesta, what do we think? Happy in their surroundings?
Definitely, yeah. And they sort of fit in with it as well. You know, it looks quite natural, I think, with the kind of wild background.
And they've got plenty to eat and plenty to drink.
Yeah,
and we can see that the little pigs have been putting on a lot of weight since we were last here. So the mum is eating well, producing milk, and the piglets are thriving. I think we can report back to Ben
yes,
that all is well.
all is well.
Claire, we've come up to Cliff, which is at the end of the Coltly part of the estate, on one of the stormiest and most blustery days. We're going to have, I think, storm force winds today.
Yeah, 40, 50 mile an hour winds, I think.
And you can see rain clouds, so we probably haven't got very long. But anyway, we're here because this is an important field. It's part of the rewilding project, and it's undergoing a bit of a transformation. Claire, what's happening to it?
So we've not had any arable cropping in here for a couple of years now. So it is going through a real, true natural regeneration.
So what was here before? This was an arable field. What
it
did
was an
have
arable
before?
field. I think normally spring barley.
Spring barley.
It was a cereal crop rather than maize or anything.
Yeah.
But it was just continually cereals. Yeah.
And,
so no livestock up here at all.
And so this is one of the fields that are going through what we call a reversion. So they're reverting to a natural state, which means that the existing seed bank and other seed that is being blown in is germinating and producing all sorts of vegetation.
Yeah.
Some of which is popular with our neighbours, but others are not. So to talk a little bit about some of the difficulties that we have, because there are certain types of plant that are referred to as injurious weeds, i.e. weeds that can cause injury, and we have a legal responsibility to control them.
Yeah.
But of course that can fly in the face of what you're planning to do with a rewilding project where you're trying to naturally regenerate, and these are natural plants. Let's go and look at some of these.
We'll go and have a look at these.
I mean, the key thing from the neighbour's point of view is that they don't want seeds spreading from our fields and causing them problems. Anyway, let's go and have a look at what we've got, because there are some rather wonderful things as well as injurious weeds. So walking across this field now, it's kind of hard to imagine that it was full of barley, and indeed we were here earlier in this year when it looked a little bit like a Martian landscape. Since then, obviously, things have started to happen, and we've obviously got thistle over here. This is fleabane.
It's groundsel.
We've got, I can see quite a lot of ragwort over there.
Got some really rushy
in the
things
distance,
here.
and some rushes, but it's rather spectacular. And indeed, the grass is coming back, because when we were here before,
there was nothing.
There was nothing.
I think possibly because it was such a dry spring.
Yes, it just hadn't had the water to germinate, whereas now it does. Look at this. And you can see here beyond the wonderful West Dorset countryside, that hedge is the boundary of the estate. And you can see that beyond our borders, there are a lot of intensively farmed fields, mostly in this area, used for pasture.
I mean, look at that.
So here is one of the culprits, the injurious ragwort, which is a native plant to the UK, but can cause problems in cattle and in horses, and is therefore not at all popular among farmers. So Claire, we can see that we're surrounded by spear thistle, and we want to remove these so that the seed doesn't spread, but we've got to get the timing right. So what's the plan?
So we'll try our best. They're obviously going to be flowering at different stages, but we'll try our best to come in here and top them at a time when they are just about flowering, so that they've used as much of their energy up as I think they can, and then if we come down, chop them off, top them off, they'll hopefully come back with less vigour.
So the idea... We've just come across something absolutely extraordinary. Claire, what is it?
The most massive bed of wild mint I think I've ever seen.
Look at this. There is mint everywhere. We need to be packaging this up and selling it in the shop. That is a lot of mojitos. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely incredible. And it smells quite delicious.
Just like mint.
And we think that this mint has been here sitting in the seed bank all this time. But of course, when you've got a crop on top, it doesn't have the chance to compete. And so it's only when there's no crop competing for nutrients that the mint is able to come through. That's the idea, isn't it?
Yep.
It's just wonderful. So so I think we're going to have to bag it up along with wonderful blackberries that I saw
Yes.
yesterday, Claire.
Yep.
So look at all of this. It's just magnificent. I'm just struck by how beautiful it is relative to the very dry landscape earlier in the year. And also, it's quickly proving one of the important points about rewilding, which is that change can happen very quickly. Nature bounces back quickly, and we've got a really quite a wide variety of plants that are returning to this field, having been an intensively farmed field for such a long time. Anyway, what a wonderful field this is turning into. And I shall leave you with a picture of the landscape. Sometimes here at Mapperton, it's important just to stop and appreciate the extraordinary beauty of the place. So for the last part of this episode, I've put together a few sequences from this rather blustery August evening here at Mapperton, and I really hope you enjoy them.
And remember to download June's Journey for free using the link down below.